Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesday Night Live. My camera always seems to be a little off. For some reason, it always ends up moving that direction. Whatever. Hope you're all doing well. Oh, that's why. It's tilted. And you'd think I would check this stuff beforehand. There we go. That's better. Now I can tip it back. Super professional live stream. Hope you're all doing well. I do have some new drone footage to show you in a little bit. And some other stuff. But first off, tomorrow night I will be co-hosting Ken Herron's live stream, Thursday Night Live, which will be a blast. Also because the guest is Troy Naquin, I think that's how you say his name, who builds the big cine lifters. He builds a lot of drones. If you're going to buy a pre-built drone, I recommend him because he builds some really good stuff. But he is going to be a guest on tomorrow night's Thursday Night Live with Ken Herron. I'll be co-hosting, so we'll be talking a lot about some of the big cine lift drones and stuff like that. And yeah, lots of news, lots of stuff has happened since the last time I was live with you, including me being very sick with that thing that's going around. Actually, it wasn't the worst flu I've ever had, I'll say that. But it did take some time to recover. So I'm doing well now, doing much better. That's why I didn't live stream last week. I just didn't have the energy. And yeah, you know. But I did have the energy yesterday to go out hiking and check some stuff out, which was really, really fantastic. I'm going to show some of the last 2 days of footage to you here in just a minute. So hopefully everybody's doing well. I saw, and Bretner, you're here. Felipe, oh my gosh, so sorry. Good to see you. Charles Hatmaker, hey. Paul Feinberg, how you doing, man? Richmond Ariels, Richard Black, nice to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're cooling down. Let's see, Art Carrasco. Hopefully I said that right. Andre, Harrison Family Vlogs, Joe Blalock. Good to see you, Crypto Man. Nice to see you all here. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of, I'm just coming past that. And then Super Soul 50. Good to see you. You will enjoy some of tonight's footage. Actually, I think you probably already saw it on Instagram. So, so if I cough occasionally, that's why. But I did get out and go hiking yesterday with my dad, who's 70, and we hiked a hard hike, which was maybe a bit challenging. But it was totally worth it. Awesome. Oh, cool. Nice, Paul. Glad to hear it. But before we get started, if this is your first time on the stream, the purpose for this stream, the reason I do this stream as often as I can is just purely to answer questions. I can't get to the comments. I mean, I get to most of the comments, but I really can only get to them once. And so if you have questions that are more specific or deeper, or we want to like actually go back and forth with it a little bit, this is the place to ask that. And that's why I've got this stream going. Or you got questions about, you know, something I haven't answered in a video, ask away in the chat, and I will do my best to answer them. And, you know, other people in the chat will too, because there's a lot of really cool people in the chat. So, let's see. Haven't got a stream of 24. Nice, Paul. Glad to hear it. That's what I'm streaming on right now, and I freaking love it. It is fantastic. So, yeah, my favorite. My favorite. I do feel like I've got a little bit more of a radio voice going. I don't know if that's really the case or not, but yeah. So, okay. First off, Mavic 3 Pro. 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Mavic 3 Pro rumors. Have you all seen those? That looks like a spectacular drone. I really want them to be true, except for the price rumors. I want those to be way over inflated. But if the Mavic 3 actually has a Micro Four Thirds sensor on it and 46-minute-ish flight time, plus it's not much larger or heavier than the current Mavic 2 Pro, that will be a spectacular drone that DJI is looking to release, probably sometime in November, which would be awesome. Earlier would be cooler, better for me, but, you know, whatever. Because we've been getting snow. Crypto Man, you're going broke? Yeah, man, tell me about it. So if Sony releases the A7 IV in October like they're supposed to, and then DJI releases the Mavic 3 in November, it's gonna be a rough a rough month, but it'll be worth it. So Richmond Ariel's hanging out with Ken Ayer and too much. Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. So my internet. Oh, come on, internet. Nobody else is home, nobody else is streaming, so my internet should be good, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything in Alaska. All right, so if you have questions, ask me in the comments, and I'll answer as best I can. And but in the meantime, I am going to play some of the footage I shot over the last couple of days for you, if you don't mind. If you don't mind seeing some, you know, epic drone footage. Harrison Family Vlogs, Woodside, Verizon, where we are. Yeah, and well, so hopefully, apparently, I mean, Alaska just has very few options for internet. But in theory, in the next year or so, Starlink is going to be coming to Alaska. And I've already been on the list for about a year, so hopefully I'll be kind of one of their beta, you know, be early people to try it out. We'll see. It would be nice. Competition is a good thing in every arena. It helps. So, what'd you say, Lon? Mine? Am I joking? Yeah, and Bretner, exactly. Crypto. Anyone found out there's going to be any zoom on the 4/3 current? Yeah, Crypto Man, it doesn't look like there'll be no zoom on the Micro Four Thirds sensor. It's that the zoom is going to be a big zoom, but it's only going to be on the smaller sensor, which is on the same camera. That's kind of odd, you know, but whatever. That'd be cool. So, yeah, and Bretner, exactly. Okay, so this was shot with, let's see, what did I shoot this footage with? Mostly the Air 2S. And GoPro Hero 8 on a 7-inch FPV drone that I built specifically for these things because I just couldn't get enough speed out of my 5-inch to keep up with some of the airplanes I've been trying to fly around with. And like the helicopter, when I did the helicopter, that was a big thing where I realized a 5-inch just can't quite cut it for keeping up with an aircraft, even when an aircraft is going slow. So I built a 7-inch and took it out and tested it for the first time the other day. Well, not like the first flight, but tested it for the first time filming and chasing my buddy Keith in his airplane. So, and yeah, so we went out first. This is Colony Glacier, Inner Lake George, a beautiful area. Some inflatables that we paddled out into areas where the lake wasn't frozen over yet, which was not very many spots, but we did catch a few spots where there wasn't anything frozen over. That was good. And yeah, the Air 2S, man, the Air 2S, it continually keeps impressing me. Just such a great, capable little drone in such a small package. So we went out, tempted our fates paddling near some of these icebergs because they're all big and they all can move. Although we felt reasonably certain that these ones were pretty stable at the moment when we were paddling around them. But, you know, it is one of those things where you're just always watching and listening to any sort of movement that could possibly be happening, and then you want to get the heck out of the way because those things are much larger than what you see on the surface. You really only see about 10% of the mass up on top of the surface. So then this is my 7-inch chasing my buddy Keith. Again, don't go out and do this. This is all pre-planned. We're in communication. We plan out the flight paths, everything. But we did a couple passes with the FPV drone. We did some passes with the Air 2S, which is what these are, obviously. Some beautiful fall colors. I had to come in and land real quick because that 180 there had come in and land. And then yesterday, my dad and I hiked up to these lakes, which you've seen before and you saw on some of the intro footage. They're a 5-mile one-way hike and about a 2,500-foot climb to get to this lake here. There was, you know, some substantial snowfall up there. Obviously, incredibly beautiful mountains, but the lakes were mostly frozen over. And yeah, so 5 miles up, 5 miles back, 2,500 feet up the mountainside, and then, or the mountain sides, and then 2,500 feet back down. It was quite a challenge being on the recovery side of that thing that is going around our world right now. But yeah, definitely. Beautiful day. Absolutely spectacular. Probably won't go back up there until next year sometime when it's summer and not covered in snow. Ha ha ha, Lon. Yeah. So, yeah, it was a beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous day. The last few days have been spectacular, even though we got a lot of snow. Especially back up in those areas, there's a fair amount of snow. It was like, oh, hey, Fly Zone. David Casada, Alan Gabriel, nice to see you guys. And yes, I did, David, 2 weeks ago. That's why I didn't stream last week. I just didn't have the energy. But yeah, had me sleeping a lot for a few days, and then kind of up and around after that. But yeah, so I don't know what's in my flask, and Brenner, just water, man, just water, That's all. Yes, Alaska VFX. I've been out enjoying it as much as possible. So I do have some really cool things coming now that I'm kind of back at it and getting back in the groove of things. My videos will be coming. I'm working on the review of this, the Sony ZV-E10, which I have now probably taken more places with me and done more work with than anything else. I'm hoping I can piece together a coherent review about it. And I am getting the Tamron 18-300 for Sony APS-C sometime in the next week or so to start testing that. That'll be fun. And then some very cool things that I can't talk about yet, but they're coming up here next month. Yeah, some collaboration with another YouTuber and some very, very cool stuff. Paul, did I buy that camera? Yes, I did, Paul. I bought it. Yep. So I probably am going to sell this Sony ZV-1. I like this camera. It's nice. It's point and shoot and stuff. But between this and this is more useful for me. And yeah. Anyway, so if anybody wants a Sony ZV-1, hit me up. on Twitter or Instagram, and we can chat about it. And then I have this lens here, which I can't talk about yet, but it's the lens that's coming on the market in a little while, and it's cool. It's yeah, it's a nice lens for the things that I've messed around with so far. Paul Feinberg, what do I think about the Tamron 35 to 150? I think it looks like a really cool lens. I would really like to test it. I haven't heard anything if I'm going to be able to get my hands on that or not to test. I would like to test it because it looks like a good, just kind of all-around lens for like a telephoto lens. It'd be nice. Like pairing that with the 17 to 28, the 35 to 150. You still get good low light performance on the 35 to 150, plus the vibration compensation, which would be great. So it just looks like a really interesting lens. I am having a hard time kind of figuring out where it fits, but I know it would fit some people's workflow well. Nathan, yeah, I just played some of that, Nathan. I just played again. In fact, I'll play it again. Why not? Because I can. So some of that was FPV drone, and then some of it was the Air 2S. Yeah. And let's see. Take things easy. Overdo things during recovery. Yeah, and Bretner, I am. I'm being careful and kind of keeping an eye on myself. Yeah. So but I'm feeling great now, especially energy's coming back and all that, which is fantastic. So as I know, your GoPro got wiped out, and you need a new FPV. What do I think is the best FPV camera on the market? David Casada asks. Oh, so David, right now, honestly, it really still is the GoPro. Now, I'm curious to see what the DJI Osmo Action or whatever 2 that's coming on the market here soon, sometime, will be like. But really, the GoPro is, because if you combine GoPro with Real Steady, it's hard to beat. And the GoPro Hero 10 with the 5K 60 is pretty good, but honestly, like I go for the 8 or the 9 is what I would do, and I fly the 9 or the 8. The GoPro Hero 8 is the one that's on my drone, whether it's my naked GoPro Hero 8 that I've stripped down or it's my regular GoPro Hero 8. It just is still the best camera for FPV stuff. This was the GoPro Hero 8. That's weird that is off. Anyway. So that FPV stuff there you saw there was a GoPro Hero 8. That's just what I use and kind of what works best for me right now still. So I would stick with that. And the GoPro Hero 8, you should be able to get for a couple $100 now, which is pretty reasonable. If you were going to pay $500 for the GoPro Hero 10, I wouldn't recommend that. It's if you really need it, but GoPro Hero 8 and get the that's what I use for almost all my stuff. So, Nathan, do I ever encounter whales in a location like that? No, that is a lake. It's a big lake, but it's a lake, so there are no whales up there. I have encountered whales when I've kayaked out into Prince William Sound, and that's always very exciting and interesting, cool, but also you kind of hope that they don't come too close because they are huge. Let's see. Maddie's Drone World goes. Yeah, GoPro's still king. Yeah, exactly. A GoPro Hero 8 right now is a great deal for FPV. Thanks, Ed Bretner. Yeah, some of those icebergs and stuff are really, really cool and really interesting. And Bretner, my dad truck amazes me. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this, which you should be following me on Instagram. Anyway, but my dad he turned 70 this year. He still probably could out hike me and has great endurance and just goes and goes and goes. So he and I hiked up to that frozen lake. Took us 2 hours. It was 5 miles, 2,500 feet up, vertical climb, and a steep, harsh vertical climb over a lot of big boulders and stuff where you're kind of hopping between boulder rocks. And with the snow on them and the ice, it was really challenging. But we got up there and had some coffee, enjoyed some time. I filmed the video up there. That will be coming soon because I think that's the one I'm going to edit now and get it out there because I feel bad that I haven't gotten a video out for 2 weeks. But yeah, it'll be kind of like the five drone shots that basically any video I go film, whether it's for client corporate stuff or for YouTube stuff, there are like 5 shots that I realized, 5 drone shots I realized that I shoot for pretty much everything. And if I shoot at least those 5 shots, I'll have enough to do what I want to do or need to do. I shoot more. I shoot a lot more just to have the options, but they're 5 like basic shots. So a lot of things are like variations of those 5 different shots there. So Crypto Man, the hike was good for me. It was very good. It was great. Lon, you're too lazy. Yeah. Shutter Speed Ireland. Hey, welcome to the stream. So again, for those of you that hear, I think most of you probably know, but if you have questions, ask in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. That's what this stream is for. Other than that, we're just chatting about life and fun things out in the frozen world of Alaska because winter now is here, whether I want to admit that or not. I really don't want to admit that. I was hoping for like another month of fall, but we got our first snow on September 19th. We got about 6 inches of really heavy wet snow, and then it got cold and everything froze. So yay, kind of, but kind of not. Halfway without coughing up a lung. Maddie's Drone World. Yeah. Nathan, any news on Sony's new A7 replacement? So the A7 IV, all of the rumors and what everybody says is that it's going to be coming out in October. They have an announcement sometime in October. I think it's like around October 10th that they're teasing. I don't know if that'll be the A7 IV. I think the big problem for most people that are releasing electronics, most companies that are releasing electronics, is just the global chip shortage that everybody's dealing with. And shipping issues. So, hey, Bob Casey and Recovery One Drone. Best time to fly in Southern Cali? I bet it is. It's a great time to fly up here. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love winter. It's beautiful. I can't wait to start chasing the aurora. But yeah, it just is. It's different. And it's a challenge. You do have to. It takes more work to prepare. Brian Peterson's in the chat still. He can vouch for this. It just takes a little more work to do things, but it's beautiful as well. So, and Bretner, so the 5 basic drone shots, that video will be coming hopefully maybe tomorrow, I think, but I'm working on it now, and so it'll be coming soon. That'll be the next video on my channel. And then, yes, I'm going to get the Sony ZV-E10 review, which even if you don't want to watch a review about a camera, it'll be worth it for the scenery because I took this camera to all kinds of crazy places and on crazy trips. And it performed well. I'll say that. Excuse me. Air 2S replacement. There won't be an Air 2S replacement anytime soon. Maybe next year sometime. I think the next thing is the Mavic 2 Pro replacement. So the Mavic 3 is slated to come out sometime in November is the current rumor. Looks like quite a capable drone. I'll be very curious to see how DJI prices it. North Cal, refrigeration, HVAC. What edit software should you use? Mostly film your work and motorcycle rides. Is iMovie good enough? Honestly, yeah, I would start with iMovie, man. And until you start bumping up against where you're trying to do something and you can't do it in iMovie, because iMovie does have limitations, then I would look at transitioning to something like Final Cut Pro, DaVinci Resolve, or whatever. If you want to get a program that has a lot more capability than iMovie, but it also has a free version, then DaVinci Resolve is a good way to go. You can get a free version of DaVinci Resolve that has a lot of options and a lot of capability, but it also has quite a steep learning curve. So yeah. iMovie is great, and it's really good to throw basic, I mean, even a little bit better than basic videos together. You can put some good stuff together. And Paul and any version of soon is fine. Yeah, tomorrow or Friday for sure. I'm working hard on it to get it out. Mike Hernick, you're charging batteries for your heated gloves here in Wisconsin. Now I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, it got cold up here. I mean, it's been in the like around 20, 21 at night at my house, which is cold. Yeah, so it's been 40 something during the day, but definitely cold at night. Oh, cool, Paul. To see if I can join you. Yeah, Maddie, exactly. Maddie's Drone World. The Air 2S is new enough and good enough that it's going to be going for another 8, 9, 10 months maybe. The Mavic 3 is what they'll be focused on, getting a new one, and then after that, my guess is they'll release a Mini 3 or something like that. But I don't think they're going to do that till sometime next year because they released the Mini SE so recently. So yeah. I hope they release an Inspire 3. That would be really nice too. Did I miss a question? I feel like I missed a question. Oh, Adrian's World. We want to get the A7C. Should you wait for the A7IV if the rumors are true? I would wait another few weeks and see what Sony announces in October, because yeah, the price point will likely be higher. I mean, it'll be 2,000 something, I'm sure. But yeah, I would wait and just see what they announce. And then if you see it and you're like, I don't really need any of that stuff, then get the A7C. Hey, John Burnett. And Dustin Gabel. Oh, man. Anyway, One Vision Aerial. I'm doing good, man. Thank you very much. Give me the Mini 3. You're going to buy the Air, the 2, but it's likely to get an update in a few months. You'd rather wait. No, I don't think it's going to get an update anytime in the next 8 months at least. Is my guess. Maddie's Drone World. Yep, 40 something of the day in the sun. So it's winter here now. Ta-da! Yay! Sort of. Let's see. Holding your Mini 1 until they release a Mode ID compliant model. That's a good idea. Alaska VFX, that's a great idea. Oh, Amazon is offering you the Ring home drone lawn. Wow, you must be special. They might have offered it to me. I don't check. Those emails go straight in the garbage. Straight in the trash. What new features do I think the new Mavic Pro should have? The Mavic 3 Pro? Or the Mavic 3 or whatever they can call it? Well, I mean, it looks like it's going to have a great flight time. Somewhere around 40-something minutes, which would be fantastic. It looks like it's going to be about the same size, or at least the same weight. Close to the same weight as the current Mavic 2. It's a little heavier, but not a ton, which is great. So, I mean, I think for new features, they need to improve the obstacle avoidance a little bit. That would be great. They need to improve the tracking a bit. That would be fantastic. And then, yeah, I mean, just, improving the video specs from the Mavic 2 Pro to get it more along the lines of like the Phantom 4 Pro would be great. Especially if they can give us that just really sharp, really good 5.4K video or something like that would be fantastic. And the low light should be great if it's a Micro Four Thirds sensor, which it's rumored to be. So that'll be really, really fantastic. Let's see. Yeah, my guess, Nathan, for the next Air 2 version of whatever, probably be next spring sometime. That's my guess. Let's see. Brad Alston's here. I can see you here. And Brad Alston, Bob Casey was here. He is here. I can see him on my chat. I don't know if you can't see him. That's weird. Yeah, Mavic 3 will be sweet. Dual cameras on that bad boy. Looks like auto tracking, obstacle avoidance will be better. I mean, I'm sure it'll be better. I hope it's a lot better. My issue with tracking on DJI drones has always been the same. It comes in close and then comes out close, and then comes in close and comes out close, and does this weird sort of like thing, and I've never been able to get them not to do that, and it is annoying as heck. So I'm hoping they fix that better. I don't know. We'll see. Brenner, he might have. I haven't really been watching much YouTube lately, but yeah, he might have. That would be cool. So, any other questions? People surely must have questions. In the meantime, I'll play that footage again because it's nice and I like it. Yeah, this was a spectacularly beautiful day. I don't know how Keith and I make it up there when it's like this so much, but we really happen to get up there a lot when it's super calm, which is odd and very rare. Nero Life, Sony 1635 f4 versus Tamron 1728. Personally, I prefer the Tamron 1728. I feel like it has better image quality overall, better low light performance for sure, and I don't miss the extra room on either end. So that's me, but yeah, I prefer the Tamron 1728 quite a bit. Matty Strong World, come up and visit me, man. It'll be cold, but it'll be fun. Yeah. Let's see, Danny, what GoPro settings do I recommend with use with real steady go aspect ratio, frame rates, resolution, etc.? So I typically, this, like the stuff you're seeing here, was shot in 4K 30, 4x3 for real steady, no stabilization, and then I set the shutter speed at, what did I set? Well, this had to be at 120, just because it was so bright and I didn't have a dark enough ND filter with me. But so I set the shutter speed 2 times whatever your frame rate's going to be and put an ND filter on it, and then also set the white balance to be whatever it needs to be. Like if it's sunny, set it at 5500. If it's not sunny, set it at like 6500 for cloudy days and so on. And then I limit the ISO to about 400 on a GoPro. That's what I do. Yeah, I guess I should maybe I should make a thing. So sometimes I'll shoot in 2.7K at 60 frames a second, 4x3 mode, no stabilization, lock the shutter at 1/120, and unlock the white balance too, for the same reason. But yeah, most of the time I shoot in 4K 30 just because I want the most amount of resolution I can get. What do I see most out there kayaking? Whales, seals, whole lot of ice. In that particular spot, just a whole lot of ice because that is just a glacier lake. There's nothing else out there. So yeah, just lots of ice. When am I going to admit that my video environments are actually Unreal Engine 4? That's right, Alaska VFX. I spend a whole lot of time in Unreal Engine 4. John Burnett, that's the rumor. I haven't seen if I haven't heard if I'm going to get one yet to test or not. I would really like to. It looks like a sweet lens, especially for kind of running gun stuff because of the stabilization built in. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. David Casado, what do I think of the Autel Mini? Looks good. I'm very curious to see if Autel can produce them. They release cool, good-looking products, and I'm glad they're pushing DJI. But they also, like, their production usually is kind of their downfall. They have a hard time keeping up with demand. So, yeah, we'll see. Cold and fun don't add up. Recovery drone, it depends. It's beautiful when it's cold. I have to admit, I have to say that. It's beautiful. Maddie, you're going to step outside and do a quick night flight with your R2S? Have fun, being warm. I've been thinking about it, but yeah. I do want to start chasing the Aurora here soon, and I want to do some nighttime stuff with my drone too. Especially some of the sunsets right now up here are just spectacular. And the R2S does a really good job with that stuff. Maddie's Drone World. Your winters in South Florida are like 60 degrees. So my winters in Alaska are like 80 to 100 degrees colder than yours. Yeah, so. Nathan, how long have I done photography and videography professionally? What would be the last 5 or 6 years, I guess. I just transitioned into it, to starting to do it professionally. Like, and when I say transition, like where that's my full-time job. That's what my income comes from. Before that, I did stuff here and there, but not, I guess it would be still professional. I got paid sometimes, but it was mostly just messing around. Thanks, Paul. Good guess. What cell do I use? Do I have the latest? You mean like phone, Bob Casey? Yes, I have the latest. Only because my 11 started dying on me. So I do have the latest. It takes good photos. It really actually takes really great photos. And let's see here. Let's see if I can show this. That's the ultra wide lens. It's impressive, impressively good photos right there. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. But when it comes to controlling drones and stuff, I use the smart controller purely for the convenience. It's more convenient having one controller that can control any of my drones. And yeah, and then the screen being built in, it handles colder weather better. It handles brighter sun better. Yeah. So, let's see. Maddie's Drone World. You love the fact Autel releasing these drones just steps up the game for DJI to give us better than we really need. Exactly, Maddie's Drone World. That's exactly right, and that is exciting to me. The fact that they're pushing and innovating. I mean, they're still kind of like a little behind the curve as far as what DJI has been releasing, but that is going to push DJI to stay ahead of them, which is always good for us. Alaska VFX. Nah, it's not getting stale, man. Not at all. Let's see. Was in low light area today with your Air 2S. Did great on your photos. Yeah, Mike, the Air 2S is man. I mean, mine's sitting right there, and it's such a great drone. It's small, it's lightweight, it's easy to pack. I can take a few batteries with me in the controller in my camera bag. It doesn't take up a lot of space, but it captures great footage. And so far, it's been handling the cold well. Yeah, so it's a great drone. John Burnett, your 11 Pro Max seems like it's getting slow. Yeah. So my 11, it started, the charging port, the lightning port here had quit working a couple of months ago, which I was like, oh, okay, I can wirelessly charge it and all that. But then it started getting worse and worse and worse. And then I was finally like, oh, okay, it's on its way out. Now, that being said, I've had it for 2 years without a case. I've dropped it a fair amount of times. It's been with me in a kayak in the salt water. It's been with me in a kayak in the fresh water. It's been, it's been through some stuff. So the fact that it lasted 2 years with me abusing it with no case on it, that's impressive. I have to give it that. Yeah. John Burnett, just if the Skydio 2 could work in low light. No kidding, John. I wish that they would allow that to work in low light. Yeah. So, yeah. I wish Skydio would unleash a little bit more of the power and the capability of their drone in the Skydio 2, because we know what it's capable of based on the X2, or the Enterprise class drone that they've released. I just wish they would release it in the Skydio 2. A lucky shot with it. I got a 4K film camera at college. Never could break into doing it for money. You wanted to be a war correspondent. Wow, David, that would have been intense. So I started, my first real camera was a Pentax K1000, which is like all manual film camera. And that's what I started doing not photo work, but just taking photos and learning about photography with. That seems like a very long time ago now. I guess it was a very long time ago. But I had, because of where I lived at the time here in Alaska, I was rubbing shoulders with some world-class photographers a lot. And anytime I had the chance to be around them, you know, people who shop for National Geographic, I mean, who like Bradford Washburn, he's one of the people who wrote the book on mountainscape photography and stuff like that. Different people like that, I always bug them about, you know, tips, tricks, advice, that sort of stuff. So I was fortunate in being able to rub shoulders with some of those people who were also nice enough to give me pointers and kind of, you know, one of them was a award-winning National Geographic photographer for years. And, you know, I'd show him, I mean, I did data entry for him for a while, and I would show him some of my photos and go through, and he would point out, like, this one's good. This is why this one's good. This is why you know, you frame this one well or compose the shot well. And kind of talk me through some of those things, which really helped me learn a little bit about analyzing composition and you know, depth, and you know, and using all of the triad, the aperture, ISO, and shutter speed as a mode of composing a shot, not just what you see in the shot, although that's a huge part of it too. But being a war correspondent that'd be intense, man, very intense. Danny, yeah, I did. That was the first thing I did too, because that was my first thought. I've done that. I've had that happen a few times. So I was like, oh, it's probably just lint. So I got my little tool and was cleaning it out, but no luck. And then when I looked in there, it looks like it got corroded a little bit. Imagine that you abuse a phone for 2 years and it stops working perfectly. Oh, cool. Maddie's Drone World. Oh, that's awesome. Can't wait. When is that? Can you make sure? Flyzone, if you're still in the chat, can you send me an email? Because honestly, like the last 2 weeks, my like mind and everything has gotten just wiped as far as stuff coming up. And so I want to make sure I have it on the calendar, because there was another thing I agreed to do too that I have in the calendar, but I had to double check. So yeah, Flyzone, if you're still in the chat, please send me an email or a text, not a text, but a, you know, a DM on Twitter or something like that. Or Maddie's Drone World, you can too, just to remind me, because I've forgotten a lot of things over the last couple of weeks. Nero Drone Life, thoughts on the A7C for videography? Great camera for videography, does really well. A great focus system for videography with the flip out screen. It's really, really good for vlogging. Great. That, and then you ask about the 17-28, which is fantastic for vlogging. Most of the videos you've seen on my channel for the last couple years have been shot with the 17-28. The video, like as far as me chatting or just running through the woods, 17-28 on the A7S3 or the A7 III, depending on when I was using it. So yeah. Thank you, Maddie's Drone World. I know it's in there, but I like usually I can go, oh yeah, that's coming up in, you know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. It's just not the case right now. I kind of gotta like rewrap my head around my schedule here. So, and I want to make, I know some stuff has slipped through the cracks, and so I want to make sure that as little as possible goes through the cracks, and I'm able to keep up with everything. And yeah. So anyway. Nice, David Casada. That sounds awesome. You're welcome, Neurolife. Yeah, that is a great video camera. If you want to do like video and photo hybrid, it's good. I just prefer the style of something like the A7 III, but I would wait. I wouldn't buy it now. I'd wait to see what the A7 IV release is going to be for photo work, just because it has more customizable buttons and dials, and you get to your settings faster. That's me. You know, there certainly are ways around it. Like this camera has very few customizable buttons, but you can set it up to where you can get to a lot of settings pretty quickly and make adjustments fairly quickly. It's just not quite as fast as if you just have a couple of dials that you can adjust stuff on. But yeah. So, but the A7C is it's a great camera. I like it. I did a review of it. I did a comparison of it and the A7III last winter on my channel. And actually some of my favorite video footage I think that I shot last winter, because it was like super moody and wintry, snow coming down. You couldn't really see the horizon down on the ocean in Whittier, and it's just cool. Neurolife, the rumors are they're going to announce it in the next month, so in October. And right now they have an event scheduled for, I think it's October 10th. So you can wait like 10 more days and kind of see what's going on. I would wait and just see. Yeah. Nathan, am I still using the Mac Mini as my main rig? I am not using the Mac Mini, Nathan. I thought about getting a Mac Mini M1 just for stuff, but everything I do right now I do with my MacBook Pro, which is a 16-inch MacBook Pro from a couple years ago. Yeah. Paul Feinberg asks, what do I think of the ProGreg CF Express Type A cards? I think I had just purchased a Sony CF Express Type A card, 160 gigabyte, because I was running out of space on some client stuff. But I had a discount, so I got it for about the same price, so I don't feel bad about it, but it looks great. And I'm glad there are other CF Express Type A cards coming on the market. You don't really need it. I mean, you can use a regular SD card, UHS 2 SD card in there in the A7S III and capture pretty much everything you want to capture, which is fine. But I do love the CF Express Type A cards just for the transfer speeds. Like when you're offloading footage, it's so fast. It's so much better. So it's nice that way. Anyway. Yeah, Nero. Yeah, wait a bit. And the nice thing is you wait 2 weeks, you find out like, yeah, I definitely want the A7 IV. Or you go, I don't really need most of what they're putting in the A7 IV, so then just get the A7C then. Yeah. Cool, Paul. I'll see if I can join you. I don't know if I'll be able to. At least I might be kind of like in and out, because I think I've got some stuff going after this stream, but we'll see. Exactly, Paul. Competition's always a good thing. Always a good thing for us, the consumers, anyway. What else was I going to talk about tonight? I don't know what else I was going to talk about. Hey, Matt Rom, Philippines. Good to have you here. Thanks for being here on the stream. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, so before we wrap the stream up here in the next like 10 minutes or so, I'm curious. I have a bunch of lighting that was sent to me from Godox. It'll be a video coming out very soon because I'm very late on it. But they're like the tube lights and an RGB light. What would be useful for you to know, like if you're interested in buying lighting or getting lighting, you know, improving your lighting? What would be helpful for you to know about lighting? Like, how would, because I mean, it's going to be a review video, but also, like, what would be helpful for you to know in that video, whether or not you need to change your lighting or improve your lighting or something like that? If that makes sense, I hope so. Let me know in the chat, because I want to make it a useful video, a helpful video for you. Not just, yeah, these lights are good and you should go buy them and my affiliate links are in the description. Because they are good and they are useful. I will say that. I've been using them for a bit on a few different client shoots and they've come in clutch on a couple things. But yeah, so let me know what would be helpful for you. Like, what would help you when it comes to lighting? What are you trying to figure out or help or work on so that it gets better in your videos? Neurolife, you need the smaller camera because you use it for hike backpacking, so the smaller and lighter the better. Oh, well, then the A7C is going to be great for you, man. I would go that direction for sure. The A7C. Yeah. It is a nice little lightweight body and small, which is nice. Hey, Flyzone. Let's see. Did I ever shoot Nikon, and why does it seem so dominant for outdoor wildlife photography? So I'd say Nikon and Canon are still pretty dominant for outdoor and wildlife photography because they build their cameras like tanks. They are built so rugged, and they handle so much abuse. Sony is catching up. They're still not quite there yet, but they're very durable and they're very good, but not quite as durable as a Nikon or a Canon, body is. But yeah, so I haven't really ever shot Nikon personally. I have a few friends that shoot Nikon and they love them. Yeah, so. Adrian's a proper amount of light for the size of a room and studio. Thanks. Okay, interesting. All right. Ease of setting up, overall footprint. Like Matt Rom, so are you saying like a small overall footprint? I should be writing this stuff down. Is that what you're saying? Like keeping a small overall footprint? Because like I have this huge softbox here, and it's a big single source light from Aperture, which is nice. Does a great job. You get this nice soft light all over, but it's big, and if you don't have a lot of space, it's really hard. So let's see. All right. Kelvin settings. Oh, Kelvin settings, inside and outside. Ooh, that's a good one. Hey, Renee. Welcome. Test or buy the new iPhone. So, this is the iPhone Pro, 13 Pro, and I didn't buy it to test it necessarily, but I am going to test it. So on that, Renee, what would be helpful for you? What would you like to know about this, as far as from a video photo standpoint or whatever? Because I've thought about doing like a comparison between this and the A7S3 stuff, just to see to show the differences. There still is differences, and but honestly, the phones are getting really good now. So yeah, which is another reason I have a hard time getting a GoPro, except for FPV stuff like this. Is just easier to film with when I'm out and about, rather than having an extra camera and a GoPro. And the battery lasts way longer on my iPhone than a GoPro does. So, let's see. Nathan, you're a noob. Why is lighting important? Maybe the difference with and without. 1 minute. Okay. Thanks, Matt Rom. Yeah, gotcha. Gotcha. Ken Kang, you saw my review for the iFootage Shark Slider Nano. They are unfortunately sold out right now. Do I recommend any other sliders, similar quality, ease of use for solo creator? Ken, yeah, there are. Like the iFootage is still my favorite, but yeah, I know it's been hard to get them. But the other slider that I've tested and reviewed personally is the Zpon. And you can get a motorized version of it, and it's similar. You control it through an app, and it does a good job. So that's the other one I recommend, is the Zpon. I don't remember exactly what model number and stuff, but the Zpon slider is really great. Micro 2, the Micro 2, the Zpon Micro 2 Plus. That's the other good little motorized slider I'd recommend. So, yeah. Exactly, Matt. I totally get it. Gotcha. How to light a green screen. Can't give away all my secrets, Alaska VFX. Like, if I did that, then everybody could put themselves in a glacier or an ice cave or out chasing helicopters with drones, I mean, look at this green screen work right here. Like that, if I show you how to do that, then what am I going to be hanging around for, right? Alaska VFX, what's my favorite iPhone app for video? I mean, right now I just use the stock camera app, honestly. Although I do have the what is it? It's the Filmic Pro. I did buy Filmic Pro, and I do like that for certain things. But yeah, David Sada, it wouldn't let you. Oh, that's weird. Huh? I don't know why it wouldn't let you. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, actually, David, but thank you for trying. I appreciate that. Yeah, Nathan, there are a lot of people who just shoot with their iPhones now just because it's easier. And it is. I mean, they're just, the new phones are so good and so solid video wise and photo wise. It just, like, why, what else do you really, I mean, you know, what else do you need? Much of anything at all. Let's see. Thanks, Flyzone. I shot all this over the last like 2 days, Monday and Tuesday basically, and yeah, threw it together right before the stream because I was editing, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I got to start streaming here in a few minutes. So it was like, all right, time to jump on that. Yeah. Yeah, Neurolife. And that's the thing. Like, I shoot B-roll. I shoot B-roll for my videos with this. And it's actually surprising how well it meshes with the A7, the Sony cameras. The big difference is low light. Like, phones still struggle in low light, and they're getting better, but they're still not quite the same. And for me, out shooting in the winter when everything is low light most of the day, the bigger cameras are better. I like the lens ability to choose lenses. The batteries, it just handles the extreme conditions better, like the cold and stuff. It doesn't die as fast on me, so it is what it is, you know. But honestly, like I filmed the first probably 100 videos, most of which are not on my YouTube channel, or public on my YouTube channel at least, on my iPhone 6 and 6S. So. How's the GoPro Hero 8 in low light? It's okay in your life. It's not great. GoPros have never been great in low light, but it's not great. Matt Rom, is the GoPro Hero 8 good enough to vlog a piece on how the shot was taken, usually during blue hour? Low light performance. Yeah, you definitely, Matt, you want to use a mini LED light of some sort to light you or light your subject, because the GoPro it just won't handle that low light very well. Yeah, near live. That's been a while now, but yep. You can go back and look at like a couple of the very first videos. Like I think the first probably 10 or 15 videos on this channel were filmed with an iPhone 6. 6 or 6S. One of those. I don't remember, but yeah. Yeah, David Casada, no kidding. Do I find the Crane 2S equal or better than the Weeble 2? So the Crane 2S, in my opinion, it's better in the sense that it will handle heavier loads. It's bigger. It's also a lot heavier. So in that sense, like the Crane 2 is better. You can put much, much bigger loads on it, and it will carry it with ease. It's just a ridiculously powerful gimbal. The Weeble 2 is a little bit better for running gun stuff. The Weeble S is still like the best compact gimbal, I think. It has its issues, but yeah. So right now I have the Weeble 2 and the DJI the RSC2. And I kind of jump back and forth between both of them. I think right now I lean a little bit toward the RSC2 for a few things, and the Weeble 2 for a few other things in like different kinds of use case scenarios. That's the thing, Fly Zone. Exactly, man. It's about how you use the tool that you have. It's not about the tool itself necessarily. I mean, there is a point where it will limit you, but it usually, most of the time, it's about how you use the tools you have, not what tools you have. That, makes sense. It made sense in my head when I said it. Hopefully it made sense to you all out there. On that note, though, I am going to wrap up the stream because I've got to get going, and it's been an hour, and it's been awesome hanging out with you all and being back for the stream. I should be back on like a regular schedule now, except for maybe next week. I might be in Fairbanks. I will try and stream anyway next week. I might be from my phone, just like handheld my phone in the airport while I wait for my flight or something, but I will try and live stream a little bit for the same time, same place next week, or same time at least. But beyond that, y'all are awesome. You've been wonderful. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed and got something of value out of the stream. In the meantime, I'll have a new video coming tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it'll be tomorrow. 99% sure it'll be tomorrow because it's almost edited, about the essential drone shots you should shoot for any video you shoot, like the different kinds of drone shoots or drone shots that you should shoot. If you're filming a video for anything, you should film these types of drone shots, and then you'll be able to use them. That sounds way more confusing than it should be in my head. And then lighting and some other stuff coming too. So but thank you all for being here. Look forward to seeing you all again in the next video. Until then, be safe, and I will see you again soon in the next video. Cheers, everybody.